Welcome to Building Fortunes Radio. Make sure you check us out at www.buildingfortunesradio.com. Along with our marketing partners, we are here to help our PM Marketing Network Leads customers build their businesses and make the world a better place. At Building Fortunes, we know how much your business means to you and the people important to you. So spread the word, tell another friend, join our newsletter, and go make a difference in your world. Now, on to our show with your host, Peter Mingils.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Peter Mingils here. We are here with the Building Fortunes radio show. I started doing this several weeks ago, actually several months ago, as a result of the need and the demand that we have to be able to help our customers at every level we possibly can. So we've been in business at PM Marketing for well over 17 years. I started the business literally in my garage, not really even sure what the name of the company was going to be, and I just got started. So for all of those people that are thinking that they need to have everything in place to be able to successfully build a business, that's not the way I got started. So you can do it any way you choose, and we are here with Building Fortunes. We show people how to have more control over their own destiny, and in essence, hence the name Building Fortunes, how to build one brick at a time. Now, we do this show for a few other people. We have the Bottom Line radio show. We're doing it for some guys that are doing some eBay stores. We work with people that are on, like, What's Cooking with Mario. We have a whole bunch of people that we are helping out constantly, and we do this to help support our customers as well as give you, if you're listening in, the moral support, the intestinal fortitude, the necessary steps, the courage, if you will, the belief system to say that, you know what, you can do what you want with a home-based business if you choose to. I have some really exciting news relative to two things, but let's talk about some reasons why you might want to do something on your own. We witnessed this week one more example of adults behaving badly with the government creating their own chaos and then solving their own chaos and becoming heroes in everyone's minds. So I apologize for the political theatrics, but that's kind of like a predictable pattern of the things that happen. We had a debt ceiling. No one I know is allowed to raise their own debt ceiling. I know my credit cards won't let me just arbitrarily raise my debt if I was hitting the limits all the time. We have a budget issue, I guess. I guess we can spend as much as we want. I don't know really how that works. But the reality is we have a whole bunch of adult politicians behaving badly that in a business sense probably wouldn't make it in my business. And usually the theatrics that would usually happen would be behind closed doors. So I would never want to see adults behaving badly as poorly as they did, but they pulled it out again. They pulled it out again. We're going to pull out the clapper. Woo! They saved the day one more time with raising the debt ceiling, further enslaving some of us into more debt, I suppose, or however they're going to work it out. Maybe they have a master plan. Not really sure, not very smart, but I know their options aren't my options, so we go out there and we build on a day-to-day basis, and we're helping some really cool people do the things that they're building. So we have our Building Fortunes affiliate program that's up and running. We have individual people that we're working with, and I got to share with you, the guys at EPX Body are doing a killer job on a report on why people would want to do something with a home-based business. And we have our favorite friend who does taxes. His name is Bob Adams, is just putting the finishing touches on our program. Well, that's our program. It's a program we give away called What Counts. And Bob has been so gracious enough to give it to all of us for free. Now, you might find that if you go out, you can pay for it somewhere else. But as far as networkleads.com customers and PM Marketing customers and Building Fortunes listeners and affiliates, if you go to the following website, after, say, Tuesday of next week, you'll find the revised product. He's just updating some videos right now to make it even easier to use. But if you go to our domain name, networkleads.com/taxes, you'll be able to download that unbelievable software given away for free for those people that are on this line from our gentleman friend. His name is Bob Adams, runs a company called What Counts, and is just an amazing gentleman. So again, our regular domain name, which is easy for me to remember, is Network Leads, NETWORK, leads, LEADS.com /taxes. taxes. That's where we put stuff relative to taxes, and you'll be able to click on a button and download that software. We've done several webinars and conference calls with Bob explaining different things relative to the tax software that he provides, and I will just say it like this. In today's economic environment where you need to take advantage of every advantage you possibly can, our wonderful government, the same people that I was just kind of teasing a little bit earlier that they're really well or not well behaved, there are certain things they do right, and that is to give those people that are willing to take advantage of the tax advantages, those entrepreneurs, perhaps those of you that are listening in, to give you the advantages you need to be those small and then eventually big business owners to be able to drive this economy, which I'll just leave it as a pause because I was probably going to say something I probably shouldn't have, so I just figured I'd leave it as a pregnant pause relative to them. But we can do it. So we can do it, we can build it, and we could use the tax advantages they allow us to build a profitable home-based business. So you can learn more about them when you go to networkleads.com/taxes and you download that wonderful software, and then you'll have it right there. So let's talk about this for just an example. We're on Building Fortunes Radio. We talk about your own economy. For many people, they are becoming more aware, I think, than ever before, that true security sometimes can be derived from the individual. You might not be able to find security in employment. I'm not anti-job. I've had several of them in the course of my life. But I also realize that many times, if you're that select person that probably could maybe do something on his own or her own, maybe you should. So for those people that want to create their own economy, take a look at some wonderful examples of people that have created their own economy. Let's use some positive examples, like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, along with other people, and a wonderful mastermind group of people, but he was labeled as the visionary. Steve Jobs kind of created his own economy. They started to do it with a Macintosh Apple computer, and then they started to do it with a little iPod, if you remember those, right? We don't talk about those things too often because most of you are using your phones right now, but if you remember, started off with a little device you can put in your pocket, and due to the technology arranged with being able to save a huge amount of stuff on a small little thing, you're able to put hundreds, if not thousands, of songs that you like to listen to on a little device, put in your pocket, and then he figured out that people would be willing to pay for doing the right thing. If you kept it reasonable and you kept it honorable and you made it easy, they would pay for music. They don't have to just transfer it all back and forth. And through iTunes, he developed his own economy. And if you really start to think about it, he developed his own economy because people would then put up their music. And eventually when he made a phone that people would use for other things than a phone, right, that iPhone, created it again, his own economy. So, of course, you have iTunes available on the iPhone, but you also made a platform that people could design their own programs, apps, as they call them. And people did that by the dozens and hundreds and dozens of hundreds and thousands and now hundreds of thousands of people have apps either for free, for whatever purpose, or for charge. And they share some of that revenue with Apple Computers or Steve Jobs and the wonderful people behind that wonderful company that has become one of the biggest companies out there. Why is that? Because they created their own economy. So if he did it, can you? Maybe you don't have to do it such a grand scale, but maybe, just maybe, you can create your own economy with your own home-based business. So we have some people that are doing some wonderful documentation on some of the reasons why, maybe now more than ever before, you probably do want to create your own economy. So stick close to the people, the places, and things you hear on Building Fortunes Radio, because we're showing regular people how they can possibly create their own economy. There has never been a time, so let me get on the podium one more time. There's never been a time in human history where the average person could actually have a global business. Never before in human history. Your grandparents didn't have it. Chances are your parents didn't even have it. It is just now within the last 5 years where the technology has met, the resources that have met, the audience and all of the things are absolutely perfect right now, and they'll be better tomorrow, better the next day, for the average person that has the desire and wants to learn the skill set to become more self-sufficient than ever before. So as long as this electrical grid holds up, as long as that internet somewhat holds up, even though we might be building it on thin ice based on, some of the whatever people that suggest that maybe we're going to go through whatever we're going to go through as far as electromagnetic pulse or maybe any of those other electro-grid cyber wars. But barring those things from happen, and the world would be in a tough place when those things happen. You wouldn't have to worry about your own home-based business. You have other problems. But barring those things happen, there's never really been a time in human civilization where a person could have the same leverage that many times global mega companies have as well. So maybe on a smaller scale, but certainly to be able to develop a way for you to be able to make some extra money so you don't have to worry about the mortgage, the rent, the car payments, the food, or any of those other types of things that many times people are worried about when we have things like government shutdowns. So I think it is the best time for someone to take a look at it, and if you say, I'm not sure if I could do that, allow us to give you the confidence that you can learn and the knowledge to be able to go out there and do a home-based business, because maybe 10 years ago someone might be right if they said, I don't know if I have what it takes. It was complex, it was hard, it was expensive. There was a lot more moving parts, it was a harder thing to do. But right now, anybody that really wants to can learn how to become successful building home-based businesses. So whether it's our friends that are working cash flow profits, or whether it's our other friends that are doing something with EPX Body, or our other friends like Mario who's doing stuff with Trivita, What's Cooking with Mario, or if it's the next person we're going to be talking about on our next show, there are wonderful things for people to be able to go out there and build their own fortunes. And we have Bob, our tax guy, that has the software available to be able, and the education available to be able to show people how to go out there and do it. So on today's segment, we have had our politician save the day for at least another couple of weeks. And now we can actually go out there and not have to worry about visiting the World War II Memorial or Yosemite Park. The disability checks, the Social Security checks, all of those things will come in. The food stamps will continue to work. The government is still working. Yahoo! And now it's time to go to work before the holidays to go out there and make things happen. So I'm going to say thanks for being here on this segment. We are going to work, man. You got to track us down, and you got to find the person that might have referred you to this call so we can go out there and really hit it hard and make a difference. And I'm going to say thanks for being here on the Building Fortunes radio show one more week. Even though I might be brief here, we work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, helping customers and our people that support us effectively go out there and build a home-based business. So we're going to catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Building Fortunes Radio on www.buildingfortunesradio.com. Thanks for listening. Check us out every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the designated Building Fortunes segment with Peter Mingils. Be sure to check out the buildingfortunesradio.com website for featured segments like What's Cooking with Mario, The Bottom Line Team, and coming soon, the Dr. Bob and Hannah Show. It's been our privilege to have you listen in. At Building Fortunes Radio, we wish you the success you deserve and are willing to work for.